Okay, guys, can you hear me now? Can you guys hear me? Okay, guys, can you hear me now? Can you guys hear me? Okay, guys, can you hear me now? Can you guys hear me? Okay, guys, can you hear me now? Can you guys hear me? All right, good. So let's get started. So now, let me post the link. Okay. Can you guys hear me? Okay, Wall Street. Okay, can you hear me? Okay, good. We'll start now. We'll start. So you guys, one thing we want to so post the you guys should try to invite others, post the link on your status. Let's in next 1 minute, let's get this room filled up, so that we can start fully. Let's get this room filled up. Thank you. Repost, tag people. So in the next 2 minutes, we're going to start. Next 2 minutes, please stick around. By eight, um, in next 2 minutes, when this countdown is on eight, we're going to start immediately. So let's get the room number up. Let's make good this way, guys. Mm. You guys can see my screen, right? Okay. Let's start because people will probably continue joining us with proceed. So 30 seconds when they will kickstart. There's a possibility there's even we share trades on Telegram channel this week. Let's see. There'll be free trades that will be shared on Telegram channel today, and then okay. So last week was a little bit I'll use the word shabby in a way. Right, there was like a lot of consolidations in the market last week. I remember Monday telling you guys that I guess this was when Monday markets pulled up. I told you guys I was like I expected a breakout, and I was willing to go long and all of that, right? And that took me so long that I had to wait until that was Wednesday. Remember, imagine from Monday I don't get like a good trade since Monday. I waited all the way to okay. I got this on Monday. I caught this buy on Monday, but then after this pullback and price went well, got thought about 4 hour. Yeah, I did not mark it because I was trying to when I was back testing. I cleared it. So I got about four trades last week, one SL and three TPs, right? And Come in. Yeah, code this buy for me. That was the first trade I took. After which price gave more like a market structure shift. Remember, what I always do is also show you how last week went. Market gave more like market structure shift, and it was like a callback function to me that so the call function that to me that there's a possibility the market trend has changed from uptrend to like downtrend and lower time frame. And one thing I always say in my live stream is the fact that once I check my higher time frame, like we don't even need to start going to a daily anymore because we do that every week already. So we already know what the daily is saying. It's just us linking the daily with the higher time frame with the lower time frame bias basically. And then you notice that on the 30 minutes you had like this change of character and then a break of structure showing that there's high confirmation the market has changed from an uptrend to a downtrend and market has changed from an uptrend to a downtrend. After which market started pushing towards the upside. I remember I always say something. I said, once my higher time frame does not align with my lower time frame, I stay out of the market. Once higher time frame, my directional bias is telling me bullish, and lower time frame is telling me bearish. They are they are countering each other. I just stay out of the market at that point in time. When my higher time frame is telling me bullish, and my lower time frame is telling me bullish, then I ride on or otherwise like beats bearish case scenario as well. So after which I waited and then I wanted the confirmation that price is now bullish before I can now start looking for buy opportunities. And then in which I had here. So first I waited for this break out of this last eye that was formed, showing me that okay, what character might probably be changing. And I did not do anything until this eye got taken out. It was more like a sweep. Then after which this candle, there was a candle that closed above it, which was more like a break of structure for me. So after I got that, it was like a confirmation to me that I can now start looking for buy opportunities. So I got my entry from here, my normal um FVG entry, right? If you check my Telegram, I wrote like I do a journal on how I take my AVG. You can check it out. I journal this trade and yes, I shared it on X. You can check my Telegram, you see it. So I caught this buy. It gave me like 1 to 4 hour or thereabout. Now after that, price one thing about all time high is the fact that there's always a point whereby there is consolidation at the all time high, price refusing to break it, and there's a point whereby price will definitely like impulsively break out. So I was expecting this to be like at the impulsive breakout of this all time high, but we still had pullback, showing that these levels are still they're still like series of buy side liquidity that are still generating at this point. Okay, series of buy side liquidity that are still generating at this point, you know. And after which market like came down to this level, there was like a nice PUI here, right? I was expecting that market was going to buy from here. I was probably in a class here during this period. I failed to discover the fact that there was like we had this legs of liquidity that price still needs to want, right? After which price already it's my dad. I later figured it out when I picked up my system. Like, oh god, I would have averted this SL, but then it is what it is. I've made about 8 hours already, so this was like -1 hour. So it took me up to like 7 hour up, and I'm like, okay, calm. After this done, price took out this low, showing that there's high possibility market has also almost changed as well. Remember, I said my higher time frame have to collide. They have to be on the same page with my lower time frame before I can take a good buy opportunities. Okay, so I'm trying to check if I'm like so I don't know if there's any issue, if there's any technical issue or something. Right. So after that, I did not take any trade. I needed to like see more confirmation and my price is now bullish before I can. It is the concept I trade is very easy. Like it's something that you see in the chart. Not being impulsive, just trade what you see, basically. Right. After which I had this I got taken out. I was observing. I waited. Some people use their market structure shift as just okay, the last side that gets taken out, then they can start looking for buy opportunities. But me, I won't like I basically want like more confirmations. Like I don't want to be grinded because one thing I've figured out price do sometimes is let's say you're in an uptrend scenario, price going higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, and then create these highs and then takes out this low, So people now start looking for about sell opportunities that market has shifted. But I've seen price does this, create more like a fake out and still continue towards the upside. So for me, this break towards this low is not a full confirmation for me that I can start looking for sell opportunities. I want to see a subsequent one. I want to see like a break of structure that this order will get taken out as well if I can start looking for sell opportunities basically, right? And then after which I got price took out this size, which was more like a break of structure for me. So I could now look for a POI below this level in which I got a buy from, and obviously price to take out this high. That was like a 1 to 3 hour plane, right? Call that, and then we had a series of consolidation for about throughout Friday and Thursday after my TP. So Thursday I wasn't looking at gold at all. Thursday, Friday, sorry, because there was no news basically. And one thing I figured out is that you guys have heard of the AMD structure now. We have what we call the accumulation phase, then there's always a manipulation phase, and then price does the distribution phase, accumulation, manipulation, and distribution. So basically, I saw immediately on Friday, I saw that okay, that was the structure God was trying to, play out. So we had this accumulation phase scenario, right? Price manipulated. The manipulation was to a 4 hour FVG. If you check it very well, that was like a very good level. A 50% 4 hour FVG. If you mark it out with your gun box, you see that it was like 50% 4 hour FVG. Where's this gun box? Like it was accurately, it's like touched it and started rejecting, for our FVG, and then it's currently on the distribution phase, right? So this alone is already a full observation that what when markets open, we might likely see crazy distribution towards the upside, like more buys. And what am I waiting for? I want this high to get first taken out, then I'll use my continuation entry since I missed this first one to get an entry. I use my continuation into my fair value gap entry that must collide with like an OB basically, right? So once I wait, I just up right now to like tomorrow to like see how market opens. Most times when market opens like a crazy gap. So if you get a good gap up this area, I'll probably get a good entry from if fair value gap align with this level. But if it doesn't, I might not do anything. I'll probably just wait for a proper structure to be formed if I can now start looking for buy opportunities. But basically, you guys understand the entire concept of this is the accumulation phase. We had the distribution, we had manipulation, and then price needs to distribute. So you can look for buy opportunities at your own let's say disposal. Let me use that word. So, like I said, I told you guys last week or last week I've been backtesting NAS 100 and XPX. You know, I still did like backtest on NAS 100 like yesterday, like some hours and all. So for SPX as well, I caught this trade basically last week. That was on Friday when I could not see anything on gold. So I saw this entry. I caught the first entry on Thursday, and then I saw this trend line liquidity. It was a very good one. That this was what kept me in the trade despite the pullback on Friday. So after I got this pullback, I'm like, nah. At the end of the day, I still expect this trend line liquidity to get taken out at the end of the day. And then price dumped. I got another re-entry. So I have like two entries running right now on XPX 500. Right. The whole aim is to take out this low. So if possible, you can get an entry. You can join me on the ride on this one. Right. So that's basically it for this week. Any question? Any question? So if there's any pair you want me to analyze, you can also drop on the chat session as well. If there's any pair you want me to analyze, you can drop on the chat session as well. If there's any pair you want me to check out or analyze, let's get it out. EU, okay, I'll do that. Okay, you might be wondering that why is EU out of my watch list? you know, what EU has been doing for the past 3 weeks is messed up. Trust me. I know a guy that trades EU that was like, Adex, please put me on. I want to be on gold. And I'm like, why? This same guy that was told me that, nah, I'm not coming to gold for whatsoever reason. EU and GU for life. And I'm like, bro, when is it when a market slowness eats you, that okay, you have to like probably move on. And he came to good and then was like, I guess it was in 2 days, he made about over like 250 pips. I'm like, you in one day you cannot give him like 80 pips or thereabout. I'm like, that's good for you. And trust me, he also saw the bad side of gold during that dump on Friday. I guess it was on the buy because he literally sent me a trade. He's running profit. That was like around like 10 a.m. or thereabout. Like it was on a full it was on a trade on gold about running on like 100 pips. And I'm like, oh, calm. He said, why am I not on the trade? I said, I'm not doing anything on gold. Code is currently accumulating. It can break out at any point. But now the breakout was, I was not sure if it was going to break out to the down or to the top. But then, after every accumulation, there's always a breakout. That's why most times I tell my students, once you see a consolidation market, stay out. Don't say you want to force in buys or sales, because there's always eventually a breakout or a manipulation before the distribution. So it can be manipulated towards the upside or towards the downside. Now, depending on the structure, right? So at that point, I'm like, in as much as goes at all time high, most times it's most likely manipulated towards the downside and then distribute towards the upside. So I was just like, it's better to just stay off in a trade that you're probably not sure than trying to force entries basically. So an event is lesson obviously, but then it is what it is. So first thing I want to do, so I've not been following E for a while. That's I'm going to the daily to see the structure prices currently placed. And we've seen how we've been having like a good sales, price creating pullbacks, break of structures, showing that okay, there's a possibility that what the daily is bearish, right? Daily is currently bearish. So check 4 hour, see what 4 hour is doing as well, also bearish as well. So in series of higher highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, right? And then you've seen that price has been pulling back to key important areas, levels that can reject price towards the downside. And then that's why I just on a 1 hour we can first check the daily and see possible areas for price to like get to and make reversals from. And a possible area I'm seeing right here. I'm coming. Let's check 4 hour, maybe to be a bit clearer. Okay, I've seen a level, but I want to mark the OB on a 3 hour. Perfect. I've seen a level that might probably potentially reverse price this level. So if you're taking any sales, if price opens, so mark out that level, and then okay, that's the only potential level I'm seeing, and this low. Now I'm going to like a 30 minutes to see market structure. Notice that we had this level. Price almost got to this POI and then pulled back, serving as a what? As a liquidity to that point. Right. So this is a potential level to dump from, provided price opens and then come to this level for a tap on this zone. But if price taps on this zone, um, stay out of sales because there's high possibility market structure shifts from here. There's a very high possibility. Now, one thing I'll avoid you guys to do is try to look for sell opportunities from here. I'll tell you now, one of the reasons why we have a liquidity void here. This is a liquidity void this week. There's high possibility price weeks you out, in as much as any week you see on a lower time, on an higher time frame, is most likely an order block on the lower time frame in which price can still use. I'll explain what I'm talking about. Now look at this week on a higher time frame. If you check like 5 minutes, you will see it is an order block on a lower time frame. So you are potentially refining. So getting your entry on a 30 minutes is more like you refining this particular order block to a lower, so that you're not going to miss the entry. You get my point? So what I'm saying in essence is the fact that there's high possibility price, comes here and still use this other block instead. So all this entire structure will be like serve as a liquidity to me to tap on this level, and then dump price from here. That's the really best thing you can do on EU. Apart from that, I won't be doing anything on EU basically. And you guys understand? Um, okay, we have 9 people on the call right now. Okay, welcome guys. Um, okay, so that's basically what I see on EU. And one thing I will always tell you guys is have a what's the word now? A storyline before you take any trade. If your storyline does not make sense or does not really align to what you look for in a trade, stay out. And that's what I always advise. I'll still continue sharing it. Have a plan. If you look at my screen, I notice there's a plan. Like I see this every time I want to close my system, every time I open my system. Basically, I see like this particular plan. So I trade just gold. You get when I'm down. So there's a time early late last year or thereabout. I was probably down like 4% on one of my probe accounts that I literally got one of my funded next. And this plan helped me to scale up back, and and currently passed phase one, currently on phase two on that particular account. Because I went down 4%. when I was down like 4% because I had like series of there's a time I was trying to like get my re-entry right, like my re-entry model right, because I had like series. There was a time I missed a an entry on a 4 hour. So I needed like re-entries to like get to my PY. So I was like mixing it up, trying to like back test, and so I lost like 4 hour in the process. I lost like 4% in the process. I lost 5%, yes, because after I lost 4%, I started risking 0.5. I lost the two next one as well. I guess a friend of mine I had like this accountability partner, more like a very good friend of mine. I gave him my investor password. So that's one thing you can do. One person that checks up on you, if you don't have it like a mentor, get someone that checks up on you and say, guy, how far this trade, this is not your trading plan. That you send trade to, like, guy, how far, just check this trade for me. Is it like, you must also be a trader as well. You cannot just use any other person as your accountability partner. Don't get me wrong. So have a trading plan, give it to him, tell him, "Yeah, I want to take this trade. If it works with my plan." So that, because everybody have their own level of impulsiveness. My impulsiveness might be probably low, and I'm like stick to the plan. And you might be something that's always, when you're on chat, you always want to get a trade immediately and all of those things. And then it might propel you to want to, like, get into a trade that you likely don't want to get into. Basically, you get, so if you have an accountability plan, it tells you that it's one that monitors your account and tells you, okay, get far this trade you took, you did not get to your plan. So you get to like work on yourself and become better on the next trade you want to take. you know. So it immediately reminded me that guy far 0.5%, let's go. Don't reach 1%. After I have practiced and I figured out my issue on that particular stuff. Like, guy, let me just go in 1%. Said no, 0.5%. So I used 0.5% to scale up back to like my initial balance. And then from there, I was able to, like, pass, get past phase one. You know, I have about two accounts that were also down that same period because, other one is still on 6% course. That was the kind of a larger account. I was like, taking profit at some point. But the smaller one, I was just like, let the profits run. Sometimes I was closing 3 hours here from here. I was like, leaving it for like 5 hours to run and all of those things. You know, that's basically. So one thing, a plan will guide you, because there's no how professional you want to be. There's no how expert you want to be. There will be a period whereby there will be probably a loss attack. I call it a loss attack because it is only that it is something that market is very dynamic. It comes, but then the ability of you to survive through those periods is very, very important. Very, very important. So that was basically it for me. And I've get yourself a trading plan. Look at it every morning. Tell yourself, well, this one I want to stick to. And few pairs. Please see if you notice people that are doing well in the FX industry that are doing crazy numbers in prop firms. Because one thing I'm pushing right now is prop firms. In prop firms, are always topping number 1 to 10. Are people that, if you check their most traded pair, you're always seeing the trade won't pay like 95%, and they probably minor pays like 5%. Go and check it. You can check funded next, check FTMO. This is why they've created mastery in those pairs. They already know what is happening when probably the pair is not going in that direction. They can tell, okay, this is why this pair is not, because it's called mastery rather than, I exercise, because yeah, imagine being on every hand, probably somewhere that you have two things, or probably you are not just trading fully, you're not doing full. Like, I'm a student and I'm also a trader, right? The ability of me to wanting to like study for school and still focus on the chart takes me to just master one pair, so that I already know, okay, I've checked the daily time frame on 4 hour. I didn't know what market is doing. And okay, then next month just always be on a 15 minute or like 1 hour or 30 minutes. Another, okay. I just need to get an entry. If I don't see entry, set alert and then go and focus on school stuff. If my land at that swing, go to the chart, see if my entry is clean. If it's clean, take it. No stress. Get my point. So mastery is also being built in the process. And if you have like something you're doing, course board. Okay, so DXY. Um, do people still use DXY to predict um EU and GU move? It was the time I was doing all those things. I was not profitable then, oh God. I was not profitable, but people thought I was profitable. But trust me, I was not profitable. I tell people I just became profitable last 2 months, but they will not believe. But it's fine. I just became profitable November. Or I've been training for over like 2 years or thereabouts. I just became profitable November. Yes. Yes. But the question is, is it that I was not making money those period? I was, but it was not consistent. I was, but it wasn't consistent. Profitability is achieved when you can you can consistently do something and still stay like paid. You get. So for DXY, you know, people that still use DXY to like predict EU and chi move, it's just the same scenario, just like opposites. Now look at this exact level, that's the level we saw on EU, just like the opposites, and then probably get a PY from here that price down to. But the PI is not clear on DXY. Maybe it's the DXY chart I'm using. Let me check other DXYs. Let's try TVC. See the same thing. So for DXY, it's not showing, the PI is not really clear. So obviously maybe price might just tap on this one, by. But then what I can only vouch for really is for gold, and XPX that I trade, as I call it, a gold analysis session. So what I want to do is stay up. What in like if you want to be like I stay up during during what's it called, during Tokyo, because during Tokyo session, because that's the period gold, gold moves very well for me, and it is flexible with my classes. I can easily stay up between like 4. Once I get my move, I can go to bed and like wake up 7 and like get on with my school activities, stuff like that. You get, it is really flexible for me. You can pick what is flexible for you. I don't know, probably if you're a student or something, that's what works for me very well. So I guess that's all. So I'll keep you guys updated on the Telegram channel. Keep you guys posted. Once I come together, probably if we have like a breakout of that level, when it impulsively breaks out and we get a good entry, but good striking, as we do always. And we'll make you go this week, guys. If I get any good entry that I wish to share, I'm gonna drop it on the Telegram channel. If I don't wish to share it now, I'm gonna take it personal. It's all that's why most of this session I like try to explain. I I try to explain why I'm gonna take the trade and why what I need to see to take the trade, so that you guys can so that it's not like I'm spoon feeding you. You follow it yourself and say, okay, be like, I think this is what Alex said he wants to see on this trade before he takes it, and take it with both enjoy and make some good fun. So that's basically it. So nice having you guys around. I guess we'll call it a good streaming. I guess we had we had a little bit issue today. Now, no, at the point we get to mastery whereby we will not have any issue in our live stream. The only issue we had today was audio, and what I needed to do was just log out and log in back. Next time will be better, I believe. I believe. And try to share with your family and friends. Invite others, let them come learn how to milk code, because we'll do weekly review every Sunday, like our past trades, where I took those trades and levels and all of those things. So try to like invite others, let them come learn, and let's grow this community together. And yes, subscribe. Allow that's what basically will ginger me to like continue more. Once I see like subscribers are rolling in and other people are coming in, it's like a vibe for me to like continue. So thank you guys, and bye. I'll see you at in Telegram session, in the Telegram group. Yeah. Bye.